Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, April 11th. It's a beautiful day out here in Los Angeles, California. So, what's up? Just give it a few minutes and let people load on here. But what we're going to do today is a guy's got to protect himself. The patterns are pretty obvious. And, the allegations that are being made are the most extreme sort that you could possibly make. So, that is what we have to deal with. Hello, let me put this so I'm not having bad posture leaning over. I feel like this thing's gonna fall. Of course, the girls probably bent my stand a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. It works. Clock it. That's right. Hello, Kimberly. I'm loving all the clock it's in there. Be sure to comment lots of clock it's everywhere. All right, I gotta fix this stand. It's bugging me. Give me 1 second. Let me grab a book. I'm a nerd, so we're gonna use Functional Anatomy, a functional atlas for human anatomy. Hello from Tennessee. All right, so what are we gonna talk about today? Lots of things. Mostly, we're gonna talk about the cycle of abuse and a recent allegation, because I'm responsible for everything. When you guys go to the gas pump and it costs more to fill up your gas tank, I'm gonna take full responsibility for that. That was me. Again, a little preface for people that are new here. I'm a sports chiropractor in LA. I've worked with 5 Olympic teams, professional sports teams, CEOs and celebrities that you see on TV. So why am I on here being a truth teller? Well, because there is a organization, a cult, organized by my ex-wife they are structured, they organized, and they just lie. Primarily to try to probably because of the color of my skin or whatever, or they're insecure that I'm a good father. But it has been going on for years and years. I have been accused of everything you can possibly think of. And for those of you that wonder, why don't you just go to court? Well, I tried that, and the evidence that is undisputable fact was considered hearsay. So I am tired of being harassed. I'm not a doormat. It's been going on for 4.5 years. I have ignored it for most of those 4.5 years. I've come out and defended myself a few times just because I got tired of it. And now it seems like the only way that this will ever be a thing of the past is if I continue relentlessly to tell the truth with evidence or logic. And until the perpetrators are so embarrassed to tell a lie that they just leave me alone. But, we are making progress on that front. We do have a cease and desist to all the bloggers. So yes, Joy, we know who you are. Yes, Sonia, we know where you are. Yes, Natasha, we know where you are. Yes, Elijah, we know where you are, where you work, where you go to church. Yeah, yep. So, yes, so these perpetrators of cyber harassment we are in the process of, to be determined later. Don't want to spoil it. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Let's talk about common distraction techniques that I'm going to be careful with my word choice because I don't want this video to be suppressed, because generally if you talk about this stuff, it gets suppressed. So let's talk about the files, right? It was in the news everywhere, right? Files, like everywhere, everyone was talking about these files, all the heinous things that people in power do. And then we went to, then we did some political stuff in the Middle East, and now nobody's talking about that anymore. That is a distraction technique. When you have something that you don't want people to focus on, you create a big event that keeps their focus on for a period of time, and then they forget about the heinous thing in the past. So, where are we now? Right now, right? Between me being fully dedicated to stopping these lies, stopping this harassment, because I don't want my kids growing up with them, so I am calling out all the bad behavior with evidence. And Don and Stoney standing their ground as well, being like, we're not going to deal with this as well. The people are starting to understand and realize what's going on much more prevalently. Now, I get it. There's always going to be the cult members that will, they're the ones you see on my comment section that are like saying I'm obsessed, saying I'm jealous, saying whatever. Like they're just there. They have their own little chat group, and they're like, Dr. Dean posted, go harass him. Like they're organized. They are a legitimate organized, like I've been saying, terrorist organization for many years now, and they in fact are proving to be as such. Like the organization between them, the communication between them is just so bloody obvious. Okay, so back to what we talked about. Files, news, terrible stuff, and now we're at war. Great distraction technique, right? So, where does this lead with my story? Just giving you guys, many of you guys probably are aware of this, American. 60% of my audience now is American. The majority of the rest is in the UK. And the only African country that is left is South Africa, and they will probably get blocked entirely soon. Sorry, this tag is annoying me. So, okay, so distraction techniques. So this, regardless of what you see on the internet, of all these bloggers that are getting paid to do this, people are, especially Americans, are figuring out what's going on. So here's what I predict is going to happen. I predict something big, drastic, some kind of victim event will take place. And let me give you some clues, right? So I'm gonna, again, with evidence, so that you guys understand, I'm not putting out false information, meaning I'm putting out a prediction, but it's based on somebody else's actions. Okay, so many of you guys remember the London attack. Allegedly, my ex was attacked with a knife and acid. Well, I looked at it. She said she got attacked in the leg, but then there's a video of her saying she cut her leg on a table. You can hear voices in the background say, "Ooh, that was a good one. Ooh, you scared me." It's completely obvious that it was fake. And why would she do such a fake thing? Well, for attention. She was even bragging afterwards that it made TMZ, and that made her, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you be happy about all this publicity of somebody trying to do such a thing to you? And of course, who got the blame for it? This guy. Just like your gas prices, that was me. All right, so let me give you some evidence. I'm going to use somebody's words to justify what I'm saying, and I will continue to use her words until she shuts the fuck up. Yeah. Okay, ready? So remember, she was attacked in London, and this was on Easter Sunday, so this wasn't that long ago at all.
See me, I will go and finish that investigation. When they find out who sent that person, it is a felony. You are going to jail. That's attempted MURD.
MUDRER.
You are going to jail for hiring a hitman on your ex-wife. Or
So she very, very clearly just said, hired a man on your ex-wife. That's me, okay? So she very clearly accused me of hiring someone to harm her, which is absolutely false. I wish her the best. I just want her terrible, despicable behavior that affects me and the kids and virtually anyone that comes in contact with her to stop, right? So, you know, yeah, so she's been saying other things like, well, if anything happens to me, you know who did it, all that kind of stuff. You know, so this is what we call like little psychological seeds that they're planting to try to plant the seeds that someone like myself, in this case, is capable of the most heinous crimes of humanity, which is not true, because if it was true, I would have, 4.5 years of harassment. I'm pretty sure I would have broken that regard far before now. Because I am a doctor and none of this is good for me. This is a lose-lose situation. Regardless if this ends today and she ends up in prison or whatever, which, who knows? She just committed a felony with her record. With her album debut, So regardless, this is going to taint my reputation forever. This is a stain on my legacy and my children's legacy. But that being said, it's a lose-lose situation. I'm doing what I have to protect myself, because we have this is some psychopathic shit. Accusing someone of something like that is very psychopathic. So once you know someone is psychopathic, you must not play by the standard rules of society and ethics anymore, especially when a court system will not help you. So when you're dealing with a psychopath, you've got like what the mistakes I've made in the past is you have to do everything. There is no hiding. There is no ignoring it. It's just going to go away. No, you have to address the situation full on. The other option is you hide, and I can't hide because that's not who I am. I'm not going to run away because somebody's bullying me. I would never be able to live with myself if I walked away and allowed someone to completely harm myself or my daughters without standing up for myself and saying, no, this is not okay. And I think many of you would agree with this. So back to my prediction. So right now, because people are learning who she is, and it's very obvious from a Western culture what's going on here, because we've seen this before. We see this before with Amber Heard, and everyone knows the crazy woman that throws out allegations. And the only reason this is getting so big is because there's so many supporters that know she's lying and cover up the lies and try to just like politics, try to feed the news feed with as much defamation content as possible to cover up the bad behavior, whether it's abusing the kids, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They fixate on whatever they can. Okay, my daughter has a knot in her hair because we went to the pool. They will fixate on that to distract from the terrible behavior, right? It's called enabling. So what I'm predicting very clearly, and bloggers, those of you that are watching this, there you go. Bloggers, this is time for you to screen record, right? I'll IP content later. But because her album did not go well, because Stoney made a diss track and I was on it, which I did that very proudly because I'm tired of this psychopathic behavior, and the only way that I see it going away, because I can't rely on the court system to do anything, is to be 10 toes down and completely stand in my truth and not let this psychopathic person completely and utterly bully me and destroy my life. And so, which henceforth affects the kid's life, right? So, I think that she's going to plan another fake attack soon, It could be any sort of thing. Like wherever she's traveling in the next week, wherever she's traveling in the next 3 weeks, I think that there's going to be some sort of victim episode to distract from her album failure. I mean, she had however many sales, and nobody was able to download the actual music, which is in fact fraud, and then posted it, and then went to YouTube. So it's kind of like a cash grab, crash and run. I've seen the comments of people getting blocked for asking her where's the download. So that's not cool. That's not good business practices whatsoever. And yeah, so why am I doing this? It's the only way I can protect myself. Meaning that if she goes and plans some kind of crazy stunt for a publicity stunt, and I don't say something first that I think this is going to occur again, now she has the ammunition, the bloggers, the propaganda machine to send everyone out after me and make me look like a bad person. I mean this woman no harm. All I want her to do is clean up her behavior, stop abusing my children, stop lying about me, and stop mistreating other people that then reach out to me and be like, talk about how she hurt them. So this is 4.5 years later, the pattern is consistently repeated. So those of you guys that don't know how toxic people work, or narcissistic people, or psychopathic people, and this is exactly how the bloggers work as well, the propaganda machine. They harass, they harass, they harass, they poke, they poke, they poke, and then the other person, in this case me, defends himself, and defends himself with the truth, and then they ignore you and act like the victim, right? And that's what she's been doing the last couple of weeks. I've been telling the truth, and she's like, focus, album, right? So very soon, I think that there's going to be some sort of publicity stunt, and I really hope she doesn't, because honestly, this stuff's gone too far. But at this point, I am 10 toes down and completely committed to ending this. And the only way it seems like I can end it is to make her so embarrassed about lying that she stops doing it. I mean, that's pretty much it. They're washing their back. It wasn't, from my understanding, it wasn't acid. It was fingernail polish remover. That's actually a pretty interesting idea. If I was to hire someone to do this, why would I tell them to use fingernail polish remover? Why? Doesn't make any sense. Like at all. At all. In fact, those are the Koreans watching. I would like you guys to send her a bunch of money so that she can go to London and figure the rest of this out. Because I'm willing to bet she probably has an arrest warrant for her in London right now. This happened, two and a half years ago, and she hasn't been back? I'm pretty sure she has an arrest warrant for her in London, because there's no way that was real. And, not to like take away from other people that have experienced similar experiences, but no. I'm calling bullshit, and I'm making a challenge for the cult, the propaganda machine, to raise money, pay for her flight to go to London, and finish the investigation, because I bet when she gets off that plane, she'll be in handcuffs. Or they'll do the DNA tests like they're asking her to do, which she refuses, and then she'll be in handcuffs. Like, the amount of lies that this woman, the amount of people that she's hurt is getting to the point where I'm embarrassed by it, because I brought her here, I immigrated her here, and this is what she's doing to American citizens. It was confirmed non-toxic makeup by the Metropolitan Police. But if you look at her acting in those videos, she was acting like she was so much pain. I have so much pain from nail polish remover or makeup. So much pain. And then looking over the camera and they're spraying her back and the paramedics literally like, what the hell is going on? Like, and yeah. So I've been wanting to talk about this for years, but I just, for me personally, I've been just trying to make content with my kids because, they're saying, because they're terrorizing me about anything they can nitpick about me being a father. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to have a record for my kids. Because when you're dealing, you guys got to understand, many of you guys have never dealt with this kind of psycho. So many of you don't understand. Ooh, I just had some fish oil and I just burped up fish oil. It's gross. Many of you don't understand what it's like to deal with this level of psycho. You have to protect yourself, right? So, if I don't protect myself, and protect my relationship with my children, which is why I had the kids on the line in the first place. It protected my relationship with my kids. It's getting to the point now where I don't have my kids online nearly as much, if at all, because June's getting slapped. They're getting punished for not being on camera with her, which is completely unacceptable, and I don't want my kids to associate performance in front of a screen with love. That's the fastest way you can screw up a kid, and that's the fastest way you create a narcissist, is make a kid have their love attached to some sort of performance rather than unconditional love, even when they mess up. So oftentimes with my kids, especially if going through the toddler phase, I make sure they know that even when they mess up, they're loved. Even when they lie, I love them. Even when they're throwing a tantrum, I love them. Even when whatever they're doing, whatever their bad behavior is. Not that they're great kids, not that they're bad that often, but they are kids, right? So, yeah. So that's one of the main reasons I don't have my kids online nearly as much. And it's because if you make a kid think that their love is a performance, then then basically we get this kind of psycho shit. So, yeah, and guys, the people in here, the cult members that are like, they can't see reason just because I'm a white man or a male. And there's a lot of people around the world that just truly believe that a male can't raise kids. And I've been doing it since Athena was 6 months old. I've been changing diapers, combing hairs, doing baths, getting ready for school, dinner. I've been doing it all. So yes, they can. I'm living proof of that. And there's many other fathers out there that do the same thing. So many of you guys just don't like me probably because I'm a great dad, and it brings up the insecurities in yourself because I'm a better parent than you. And that, as a woman, that's like insulting and raises lots of insecurities. So rather than try to tear me down, you should try to be better, because I try to get better every single day. Somebody's saying, if she's beating the kids, call CPS, blah, blah, blah. I already told you that I already submitted 165 or something like that exhibits of her behavior, including child nudity, including her book, including everything. And every single thing that judge looked at was considered hearsay. So here we are. I'm online raising a public awareness about a very psychopathic situation. And, it has exhausted me in every way, emotionally, physically, financially. And now I'm just like, I've come to the conclusion, especially after Estoni and Dawn decided that they were gonna, before I ever even met them, they decided they were gonna go public and be like, screw this, we're not gonna be bullied by this woman's crazy mob. And in fact, for them, they're like, as an artist and a producer, this stuff's great for them. All they got to do is tell the truth, and this mob's going to come after them, and it's just going to make them, it's just going to push their music. So for me, this is lose-lose. Being a healthcare professional, this is a lose-lose situation. And, you know, I'm going to try to get through this with as much grace, dignity, and integrity as I can, and as much fun, because, you know, like when dealing with a very psychopathic situation, like, especially if they're not violent, because she's not, have fun with it. So yeah, I chopped off my cucumber. It was very healing. Humor was very healing to make fun of the situation. I was in a diss video for her. Made me feel great. No regrets. I will never apologize for that. I feel great because everything that she said in those lyrics was true and accurate. So, like, I feel great, honestly. Like, I will not apologize, not now, not 10 years from now, because regardless of what it looks like, regardless of an outsider looking in, that doesn't know the backstory, like, I'm not dealing with a normal situation. I don't think that this situation has ever occurred, ever. This is the first of its kind, and I imagine by the end of this, laws will be changed to protect children, which is ultimately my goal. I don't think that kids should be on live video all the time. I really don't. Currently, the laws are that you can film content with your kids as much as you want, as long as it's not scripted. Well, okay, get it. But if they're on video 10 hours a day, how does that make a difference if it's scripted or not? It's their childhood. Like, I don't think I've ever filmed more than, in a week, maybe 3 or 4 hours total in this entire time. Like, I didn't mind sharing beautiful experiences with my babies, but doing it all the time when they got to go to the bathroom and you're just like, just go to the bathroom, you know, like that kind of stuff. That's addictive level behavior. Somebody said, oh, you're dumb for dragging your ex. I'm not dragging. I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting myself because I think she's going to do something really crazy really soon, and I'm going to be blamed for it. And the only way I can truly protect myself, you guys look at this situation for what it is. Okay? Look at all the disadvantages I'm at. I'm white. That's a very big disadvantage in today's culture. I'm a father. Many people hate fathers. It's just the way it is. It's ingrained in people's DNA, especially with this feminist movement. You watch cartoons, all dads look dumb. Look at Family Guy. Look at all the sitcoms, all the cartoons. They're all depicting the dad as somebody that's dumb, or whatever, or what, you know. And not only that, there is an army, a propaganda machine that finds anything and everything to criticize me on, makes up lies, propaganda lies, and, you know, so I just have my page. I don't have any fake pages, bloggers. I tell anybody that's supporting me, do not harass people and don't lie. I know there's people out supporting me. I don't really watch their content, but it comes by sometimes, and I'm like, I'm not encouraging anyone to harass anyone anywhere. I'm here, standing my ground, being like, I will not tolerate this behavior because it's not okay. It's not okay for an immigrant to come into this country and do what she's doing, okay? She should be grateful to be in the United States. It is a privilege, not a right. It is a privilege to come here and live the beautiful life that she's living because of me, you know, because of me, the American citizen, and coming in here and do everything she can to destroy the lives of Americans. Like, I don't know how Trump has not deported her yet. Her behavior is despicable. She got on a little finger, she got the sympathy vote, of course, but, you know, a lot of people are biased, it's cognitive dissonance, especially women are trained, support other women, and that's great. Like, I support that. But when a woman's doing wrong and you're still supporting it, you are guilty by association. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you believe in women supporting women, go support Stoney, right? Support Stoney and her. That's women supporting women, because if your entire mindset is women supporting women, therefore, based on your own statements, you need to support every woman that exists. And that's not what they're doing. They're coming after Stoney for telling the truth. Just like they come after me for telling the truth. Just like they come after Dawn for telling the truth. Anyone that tells the truth is harassed. Their family's harassed. It's like they start digging into your friends, trying to interview old friends of yours, like old boyfriends, girlfriends, trying to get dirt on you to discredit you as a person. Like that's some pretty psycho shit, to be honest with you. Pretty psycho. And what's funny is all the bloggers that are trashing, they all look the same. They're kind of like overweight, middle-aged women. And they're angry. There's one gay guy there, too. There's a gay guy there as well, which we'll talk about later. And I only said that not because I judge gay men, because I want him to know I know who he is. And his mask of pretending to be a woman is not going to work. Yeah, from a children's, I do have a right to protect my kids. And I understand the current moment we are in society where men have been demonized for the last 20 years. And if you're a man and you speak, you get demasculinized. And, they try to make you less of a man, because if you're speaking and you're standing up for truth, what's called honor, that word, honor, integrity, if you have those things, society tries to demonize you. You know when they're going to stop demonizing men like me? When a world war breaks out and there's a draft. Now all these women that are trying to tear down men like me are going to be like, no, you go fight. I don't want to fight. Respect the mother of my kids? Why? She's accusing me of hiring a hitman to kill her. Fuck that bitch. Like, that's, like, seriously. like, how do you accuse someone of that? Like, no. Like, no. Sorry, no. She's accused me of everything in the world, and I'm not going to stand here and tolerate it. So, no. I'm not going to respect her behavior. No. Because if I respect her behavior, that means I acknowledge that behavior as acceptable, and it's absolutely not. So no, I will not respect her. And I don't care who gets offended by that. Her behavior is simply unacceptable. Mother of my children, stranger on the street, doesn't matter. Accusing people of hiring hitmen is simply unacceptable. Accusing people of things they didn't do is simply unacceptable. So, that felt good to get off my chest. No, honestly. Anyways, I look forward to all the bloggers breaking that up and be like, look, he's abusive, he's abusive. Well, I draw the line at accusing me of attempted murder. I draw that line, and she does not deserve my respect at all. At all. That kind of stuff is wildly, grossly psychotic, and it deserves not an ounce of respect from me or anyone. Okay? Bye.